Welcome to the Future Comedy Show podcast, episode 33 with Abi Sanchez.
What up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up, Abi? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. Took that 5-hour drive
From Chicago
to Forgot about the hour. Like,
oh, you got it back?
No, I get it back going back.
Oh yeah, that's a nice little thing when you go back. You're like, oh, I got an hour back.
It was like I always joke. That's the only good thing about going through Indiana. You
It's
get an hour of your life back.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Indiana's a terrible place to drive to. It's so boring.
Yeah, Indiana is boring.
Yeah.
Well, the Pacers lost, unfortunately.
I know. I was really hoping they would win, but
Me too. I was like, I'm just like when you have somebody win or go to the finals every single year, you're like, come on, let's get some.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, that just proves you can't deny LeBron, though.
No, you can't deny LeBron.
And as a Chicago guy, it's very hard to admit this.
Oh yeah,
We got
okay.
Michael Jordan, so.
All right, well, we got a few people watching. They're tuning in. We got Chris Cassane. What's up, Chris? Thanks for watching us. We have Abi Sanchez here from Chicago. You're a Laugh Factory regular. I seen you there. I said,
Yes.
This guy's funny as fuck. I got to have him on my show.
Oh, well, thank you.
I was like, I was in the back just vaping a little bit, little cloud of smoke. I said, there's Abi. And I seen you, and then you were like, sure enough, I'll drive the 5 hours through the cornfields to get here.
Actually, it wasn't that bad. It's scenic, a lot of dead animals to look at, so it was all fine. Like,
Yeah.
you guys really hate deer out here. So,
Yeah, we just kill them with our cars. That's what we do.
but no, I've driven like Iowa. I've gone down. I don't know, just a lot of drives, like up to the UP. That was a fucking.
Where'd you go in the UP?
Nagani, so we're on the Wisconsin side.
Neganis.
Yeah.
That sounds dangerous for me to say online.
I
I wouldn't be careful there.
I went with another comic. I don't know if you know Russ Williamson. Or you know the
I
name.
think I know of Russ Williamson.
Yeah.
Is he a Michigan guy?
No, he's a Chicago guy.
Oh, is he?
But we
Okay.
went up. We did the shows up there together, and that was fun. It was different than what I expected. But,
Yeah?
yeah.
Up in the UP?
The UP, yeah.
Did you stop
Dead
at
of winter?
Did you stop at the mystery spot?
There's a mystery spot.
Yeah, you don't see him like promoted everywhere. The mystery spot.
No. What is it?
I don't know, man. It's a mystery.
No one's ever goes. Is it just like, or do I got to find out for myself?
You gotta. Yeah, it's like one of those things like you can't like talk about it. Like you gotta go.
Something like the scavenger
Yeah,
hunt.
yeah, you just gotta go, man.
That's
If you
funny.
go, you go. If you don't, you don't. You know. That's
Now I'm gonna go.
you have to go.
Is it only in the UP?
I think so. I think they like got. I don't know. There's a mystery spot. Yeah, I think it's just in the UP, or maybe there's like two of them up there. I mean, there's two spots. Only
Just
one.
one?
Only one mystery spot, but you got to go to do it. Like you can't.
Now I know. I gotta go up there. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, next time you go up to what's it called?
Nagani.
Nagani. I'm not
Nagani.
saying the end town. You know.
The end. Yeah. Well, I think they say Nagani. Yeah.
Nagani.
Yeah.
Nagani.
It was fun.
Jump
though.
on it.
Did a show
Nagani.
in an Italian restaurant. Never did that before. That was cool.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was crazy because like once you get out of the city, they just put shows up anywhere. Like out of
Yeah.
Chicago, like I did a show in Iowa in a Mexican restaurant,
Oh yeah.
and it was one of the best shows. We had Johnny Sanchez over there from Mad TV. Like they booked him and brought him to
Yeah.
Muscatine, Iowa, to do a show.
That's. I mean, like once you get out of the big city, it is true. Like
Yeah.
you'll have a show anywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
what's the
any place
craziest
that
place
has,
you've done a show at?
The bowling alley in Sheboygan was kind of crazy because they had a stage, but they didn't separate us from the bowling alley, so
What?
you could still hear the pins and all that other stuff going.
Yeah.
And the people in front of you, but I mean, we've done basement shows, we've done house party, like I don't know,
Yeah,
it's
anywhere,
crazy. Yeah,
anywhere. Laundromats. They do.
I haven't done a laundromat. No, I haven't done one of those.
I remember
yet.
somebody tried to get me to do laundromat, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna. I don't got 75 cents. I'm not doing it.
Well, then you got because you got all the machines and the dryers and shit.
Yeah, they're just twirling.
Because I don't even like doing shows in bars that don't have that the people don't know what show's going.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
Because then there's people sitting at the bar like, I just want to watch the game or something. And
Oh,
next thing
yeah.
you know, there's a comedy show. Like, I don't want to fucking listen to you. I'm trying to listen.
Or they're playing pool in the back,
Yeah.
or the pinball machines going on, or something like that.
I recently did a show where I did it as a favor for a friend, and it was literally the pool table was right there, and the guys just never stopped playing.
They
pool.
never
But
stopped.
there was only one table of people that were there for the show. It was like 5 women for a birthday party, and they were just waiting for afterward. I was like, man, this is dumb. It was a back end of a roller rink too, like a skating rink.
Oh, did they give you comp skating? You got to like.
Nah, I
skate
didn't get
afterwards?
nothing. I just did it as a favor, and I was like, man, don't ask me to do this shit again.
Yeah, that's always the worst. Favors always end up being the worst shows, right? Like,
Yeah, because somebody just wants to put something together.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, I'll help you out. But at the same time, it's like, if you've never done a comedy show before, it
yeah.
takes some work. You got to have the right setup
Yeah.
for it. I don't know.
And if you're gonna do a show like that, you might as well get paid. I
Right,
mean, like,
I'd rather, yeah.
like the worst ones. We got that.
Yeah, when I'm not getting paid, I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to give this all my all.
Yeah, and the 5 ladies
right,
are like, can I get it over with? Like,
right, yeah. And
I want to get to the mystery spot.
Right, yeah. I want to find that mystery spot.
So, you're in Chicago. You had a kind of a different beginning. How'd you get into comedy?
I signed up for an email from a promoter that does shows in Chicago, and then he sent out the email saying just a flyer like, "Hey, were you class clown? Blah blah blah. You want to try to do stand up?"
Yeah.
Because what he would do is he'd bring headliners in. It was a Latino comic or producer, like probably the biggest independent Latino promoter in the country, I would think. And he would bring headliners in. He's like, if you come in a day early, you could teach this class, and you get all the money.
Oh yeah.
So he would I think he charged like $50, and it was for 2 days.
Yeah.
So it was a comic. His name was Rich Ramirez. He's passed away now, but he was an old school '80s comic, like the big shoulder pads, suits, and everything.
Yeah.
But he came in, he taught the class, and he told us how to like write a joke. So we like wrote a 3-minute bit.
Yeah.
And it like, well, we tried to write. He's like, write 3 minutes. I'm like, all right. So I just had like this one really long story about like my dog catching me masturbating or some shit like that.
Yeah,
like
that's
whatever.
how it starts out.
Yeah, every guy starts out with like dick jokes as far as like his first joke.
Or Macho Man Randy Savage.
Right.
I feel that's
an impersonation.
That was my favorite. That was like mine. I remember I started off with Macho Man Randy Savage, and I seen somebody else doing it. I was like, "What? That's my bit!"
Right.
And then like you realize that everybody does Macho Man Randy Savage.
It's very easy to do.
Yeah.
But I just remember doing it going through this, and it was not 3 minutes because I had no idea how long 3 minutes was.
Yeah.
So it was like 5. And he was like, yeah, and he's like, you're a little bit extra dirty for no reason. I was like, all right. And then, so I think maybe a month later, he had another workshop with a different comic, and I took that class. So I took like 4 or 5 of these workshops.
Yeah.
Until eventually he was just like, all right, the promoter, he was like, well, I'm putting a show together. You get 6 minutes. Come do it. We're like, all right, cool. So we get there, and it was like a 200 seat, like a little, it was a bar, but they had a back room with the stage, and they had a band, and they put 200 people in there. And then I invited a ton of people, so I had about maybe 30, 40 people there on my own.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It was my first time on
like,
stand-up.
oh,
Yeah, because like for me, that was my open mic, was doing those workshops, because it was like you'd work with the class, so they were the audience.
Yeah.
It's basically the same. You would get an open mic anyway. Mm-hmm. So you sit there and you just get the confidence of going up on stage. So the first time I did a mic was like a month before the actual show. I just wanted to test out the material.
Yeah.
And I got like 4 minutes, and I went up there like polished, and dude's like, "Oh shit, like how long you been doing comedy?" Like, "Oh, this is my first time on stage." And they're like, "Oh damn," like, because everyone else was just brand new to comedy. So I was like, "Oh, okay, I can do this." And then by the time the show came, I was nervous. Like, I drank damn near like a whole bottle of rum before I got, but the adrenaline was so much that I wasn't even buzzed. Like, I was just running off like adrenaline, and then I got on stage, did 7 minutes because I had no idea how long 6. Like,
were they mad at you, or did they give a shit?
Because
you brought a lot of people, so they're probably
that, and also like if you're not bombing, they don't care. But if you're bombing and you're still searching to get that last laugh,
that's the worst.
You're at 10.
That's the worst. That is actually the worst. Is when somebody gets on stage and they don't know they're bombing, and then they do the actually like 3 minutes, and you're like, oh,
like dude, like. How did the no laughs not? Why is that encouraging to you? You're not getting any laughs. Why are you keeping?
Some people are blind to it though. They just don't. They don't have any like social awareness.
Yeah,
they'll be up there like and they'll get off of like, oh, I killed it.
Right, or they get off like, man, that crowd sucked. I'm like, no, the person in front of you was really good.
And the person after you
was good. So I think you're the problem there, buddy.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah. So once I did the mic and I did the show, and it went great, and then. He liked me so much, he kind of put me in his rotation as far as like comics he would use.
Yeah.
Because he knew he didn't have to pay us because we're so new.
Because
Chicago, I don't know how it is anywhere else, but like Chicago, you don't start getting paid until you're like at least doing 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Anything else is just considered a guest spot, so you're not getting any money. But even then, you probably just get a drink or two or something like that. So
I started in Los Angeles, and you don't even expect to get paid ever, really. Like,
right. That's what
if you get any money, and then you're like, oh shit. Like one time, I was living out there, and the guy gave me like a roll of toilet paper he stole from the bathroom, and I was pumped. I was like, shit, got paid.
Got paid in toilet paper.
Yeah, well, I had to buy it, so it was like, I felt good. I was like, all right. I was like, moving on up.
Yeah, like we would just get paid in drink tickets. Like, oh, we get the drink for free. Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, like after the show, if you were funny, people will buy you drinks.
Oh yeah,
so I was like, all right, cool. I didn't spend any money.
And that's how I got a DUI.
Yeah. But then like just smoke with the other comics, get high, and come back and
do it again. But that's the good thing is the camaraderie in the beginning, because in the beginning there's no money in it. It's just you want to get good,
right? And then as long as like you're funny, no one acts funny towards you. Like everyone's cool. Like, okay, this guy's cool. Like the older comics will be cool with you. But if you're like new and thirsty, and you're not funny, they're like, all right, calm down, guy. Like,
yeah.
So luckily, I hit the ground running, and then I was all right with the other guys.
How long you been doing comedy for?
I've been doing it for 8 years. The last 2.5 or maybe even 3 have been it's been full time.
Good. And then I seen you at the Laugh Factory. How is it the environment for comedy in Chicago? You get to, I mean, I'd say Laugh Factory is probably one of the premier clubs in the country.
As far as like the brand goes, like the good thing about the Laugh Factory is that it's a showcase club, so you'll get 6-7 comics a show that are all local versus like a Zany's where they'll do pro show was like a host, a guest featuring and a headliner. And then, but the Laugh Factory, you can bank, so they can get 18 comics up. So that's what, when the Laugh Factory came to Chicago, because I think it just hit 4 years. So when that club hit Chicago, that kind of changed the whole scene, because now everyone had a goal that they can get to, because Zany's was kind of like, oh, they're bringing in national headliners. It's very hard to get into that club. Yeah. But this way, you're like, all right, I can perform in front of like 300 people on a Friday, Saturday night, do my 15 minutes and get out of there and get like $60-$70.
Well, when I seen you were doing 2 or 3 spots on the same night. I'm like, that's not a bad night for...
Nah, I mean, you can't really beat it, because like, you get a paycheck in 2 weeks, and then, but it takes a while to get to that point, though. It was like me hanging out there for 2.5 years, sitting at the bar, hoping somebody didn't show up, like, hey man, if you need time, I can do 5 minutes, or getting a spot on like a Tuesday when there's 15 people in the audience, because in the beginning of Laugh Factory, nobody knew what it was. They were just like, all right, comedy. Yeah. But then now Netflix came out and they started helping out the comedy. Netflix has blown up comedy more.
Oh, for sure.
In like the last few years, and like tremendously. So people are interested in stand-up comedians. So you get comics that like people just want to come and watch now. So
see what's going on. See what all the buzz is about.
So now you're getting 60-70 people on the show during the week. Yeah. And then Friday, Saturday, you get 250, 300 people.
Yeah, that's a big building too. Yeah, that's tall ceilings.
That's the only problem with the club, though, because it used to be a straight-up theater, like a concert theater, and then they just renovated it. But
it's nice.
It is nice, because, like, I mean, when there's 30 people in there...
That's got to feel tough to get the... I mean, the difference between a place with low ceilings with 80 people where it's tight and a place that's huge with 80 people is, like, the feeling's a lot different.
It is, but also, like, you learn how to get better, though, because you got the stage is so big, and you have to interact with these people. They're like, there's only 30 of them, and when people are kind of separated from you, they don't laugh like they should. Like they want to. Like they're kind of subdued, like cover their mouth. Or they look around and make sure no one's looking at them laugh, or like.
I always say it's like watching a movie with your best pals at a movie theater. If it's packed and you're there with your best pals and you're watching a comedy, like I watched Superbad. I watched Superbad with my best friends, man. I was dying, crying, laughing so hard. And then, like, you watch it by yourself, and you're like, ha, ha.
Yeah, it was funny, but because that laughter is contagious, so...
It is. Like, it definitely is.
That's what actually helped me get better, was doing the off nights at the Laugh Factory, doing those shows for 30 people in a room that holds 300. Yeah. Because when I first started, like I said, I was doing 150 people at the beginning, because this guy is such a good promoter. I mean, his email list is probably like 50,000 people.
Holy shit. That's a lot.
It took him a long time to build up the email address. But that's all he did. He'd give out free tickets. He just wants your email, so that way he knows you're going to come back. But so that's the very first time I did a show that wasn't his, I did a banquet hall that holds 300, and there was 7 people in the audience. Yeah, and I was so new that it was like everything I did came off as scripted. So like if anything happened, I had no idea how to handle anything else.
I've seen that before.
Yeah,
and
so
I've
been
there before.
All right, well, I don't have a joke for that. I'm gonna be something like that didn't happen, and just keep talking. It's like then you just look like, well, this guy
is this guy a robot?
Yeah, he's very stiff. So doing that. So doing 30 people, man, it's like, all right, now I can do that. It's fine. I can just talk to you. But you change the way I do stuff. So like 300, I'm more energetic. I'm moving across the stage.
Yeah, well, the energy is like, I say we're like solar panels. The more energy we get, the more we put out.
Yeah. So, and then, but with 30, you're just chilling, you're talking to them, making them feel like you're just the funniest dude at the party. Yeah, and that's pretty much, like, that's how I approach comedy. Like, I just want to be the funniest dude at the party.
Yeah.
And then had people like, man, that shit was fucking funny. Like, all right, cool.
Come up afterwards.
Yeah.
And when you have that many people, you get the opportunity to meet so many people and get them added on Facebook, your Instagram, your Snapchat.
Yeah, I hand out cards. I stand by the door. That was the one thing the one dude taught me was like, after every one of his shows, he'd make all the comics go stand by the door and just greet the people if they were leaving.
Yeah.
And as they left, you just say, oh, thanks for coming out. Or like I have cards that just have my social media stuff on it.
Yeah.
So I was like, here, just follow me. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I just build up followers like that.
That's slick.
Yeah.
Is there any goals that you have in comedy that you want to achieve before it's all said and done?
Yeah. I mean, not like achieve. I just want to make this my job.
Yeah.
Like I want to be able to sustain my life with comedy because I used to work in an office.
Where'd you work at?
I was doing help desk. So like IT help desk at a plastics company. Like
people would call you up,
dude. It was
and you'd be like, "I'm Abi Sanchez."
Right.
Like, oh shit, what is this?
No, they had no idea. Like a lot of people didn't know what I was doing. Like,
yeah,
I kind of kept that off to the side.
But like when they called you, they're like, "Abi Sanchez."
Yeah. Well, I would just hate it. I would hate answering phones. I hate talking on the phone.
Yeah.
So like
we never talk on the phone. Emails only.
No, I don't talk on the phone. I text.
Yeah.
If you call me and like I'm busy and I just text you back 10 minutes later like, oh, what was up?
Yeah.
But like. So that my whole job is being on the phone. I was like, nah, I can't do this shit.
For plastic cups?
Yeah,
and people would like complain about them, or what?
No, it was just not the cups. It was so like someone's computer within a company went down. I'd have to try to fix it, but it was like I doing it over the phone, and it's like I'm one of those hands-on people. So
they're like, I can't get my spreadsheet to
right.
spread.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was like. Oh, how do I do this? I'm like, man, hold on, and I would just Google it.
Yeah,
I'm like, you could have did this yourself instead of calling me up, but.
They don't know how to do that. It's like the old people. Like, like, what's going on? You're like, have you tried turning it on and off?
But the thing is, like, good thing I used to work for another company doing IT, and that company ended up closing, and it might have just been the best thing for me because I would have stayed there because I liked the way everything was running. I was comfortable there. I was still doing comedy. Like, everything worked out hours-wise.
Yeah.
And then, so I probably would have never even tried to take comedy serious if I was still been at that job.
Well, and that's for sure, because if you're using all that time working, you're not using that time writing material or performing or...
Yeah, I mean, even relationships can hurt a comic, especially if you get someone that doesn't understand what you're trying to do. Or something like... So if you're a comic, date somebody in the industry, like somebody that works at a bar, someone that is a musician, or somebody that has a similar hours.
Path.
Yeah, like even just the hours, because if you dating, like as a comic, all my stuff happens at night. And if I'm dating a person that doesn't work in the same industry, all their stuff is during the day. So then we can't. When can we link up? And then they all of a sudden it's like, when's it gonna be our time to spend together? It's like, well, I want to go do this show, and they don't understand. Like, I need to hit mics every night to get better.
Yeah.
And it's
has
like,
has that happened to you where like she like playing the whole time and it took away from your comedy?
Yeah, like
how long did they keep you out? Like, I mean, did you stick with it?
It was very sporadic, the amount of shows I was doing. So it would probably I went from a show every week in the beginning, like a showcase, and then but not going out hitting mics or anything.
Yeah.
And then once I started dating her, it would just be like once every 4 weeks I'd be performing. So every time I performed, it'd be the same old jokes, but I forgot how to do them.
Yeah, and she'd be like, I heard it, and she doesn't even want to come see it.
No, I wouldn't even invite her sometimes, and that was the other thing too. She felt like she was being excluded. Yeah. But I was like, I'm not gonna take you to work. Like, that's weird.
Yeah, well.
And plus, having I don't know. I feel like it's torture to have somebody sit through an open mic.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how the open mics are out here, but in Chicago, they're 40 comics deep.
Oh yeah.
And it's.
Oh, open mic everywhere.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's usually about 30 bad comics out of, you know what I'm saying?
Well, and there's definitely more comics. Our open mic's probably like 10 or 12. I mean, some in Detroit are probably a little more. Like, I mean, there's a couple in Detroit that are 30, 40.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't want to take anybody to an open mic.
Nah, and it's like, and they don't get like, why do you sit here and do this? Like, because this is what I want to do to get better.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's the tedious things.
Right, and so that's why now the girl I'm dating, she works in a bar, so she works at nights. We have the same hours, so we see each other during the day. The off days are the same, Monday, Tuesday, because Monday, Tuesday in Chicago is really off nights. Yeah, it's pretty much to hit the mics. But now I'm at the point where I have enough stage time, where I'm getting enough stage time for my sets that I can treat that as my open mic. So like, I can throw in a new joke and like, all right, cool, that didn't bomb. And if it does bomb, I got another joke after it that I know works. I can bring them back. So it's
that's good. That's good. I mean, that's the toughest thing, because even here for me was that I'd have to drive 2 hours to go to an open mic, and it's,
see, that's some fucking dedication.
and then you go there, and then there wouldn't be anybody there, or it'd be 10 comics, and then they don't want to listen, or I mean, a lot of people are supportive in Michigan, but like, it's just not worth the 2 hour drive for 5 minutes or 7 minutes. So that's how I got started.
Right.
I was like, I gotta create my own stage time.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like that's what happens a lot of times in like smaller cities, smaller towns, is people just create their own shows, and then fuck it. I mean, because you got people. Obviously, you have an audience that wants to come watch the show, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they come out and watch it, and you have a built-in audience, and you get better performing in front of people that are laughing.
Yeah.
Instead of like comics that are like, oh, that was great, but they think it's funny because maybe they understand the process of writing it.
Yeah.
So that's what they're laughing at. Like, oh, I can see where he came up with that. Versus like an audience member has no idea how you did this.
Or do they really care? Or do they just coming out to drink beer and have laughs?
Right.
I mean that's the whole thing. But open mic. Oh my gosh.
But like in Chicago, also since I was doing so many of the shows with the other producer, like I didn't really have to do the mics. And then once I started doing the show at the Laugh Factory, the people that run the mics and all the other local comics, they started seeing me. He's like, oh, so now when I go to a mic, I can get bumped in.
Oh, that's nice.
So
Just walk in and get in.
So
sneak in.
But I don't try to like. I'm not the guy like, oh, can you put me up now? It's like I'll wait. I'll give you an hour, and if you can't get me in within an hour, like, all right, cool, I'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, in Chicago, there's got to be mics every night, right?
Yeah, you can do a mic. You can do, on average, 2 mics a night.
Yeah, that's a decent. If you're really dedicated, that'll get you good quick. I mean,
that's why. Like, I think Chicago, as far as like to learn how to do comedy, is probably the best venue because you can get up so much. Yeah. And there's a lot of comics in the city, but you still have a lot of opportunities to get up 2-3 times a night.
Second open mic I ever did was in Chicago, and I remember going there and like signing up on the sheet. And I remember there was a cross dresser, and she was like talking about the Chicago Bears. She was like, the Chicago Bears, and then her closing act was like she pulled out this big double-headed dildo, and I was like, oh shit, this is what comedy's about. I didn't know.
That's the thing is you'll see different shit. Like, wait a minute. Like, no, I was just doing jokes. I didn't know I needed a double-sided dildo. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense.
I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just like, holy shit, all the characters you'll see. Yeah. The character.
And then, like, so the first time I did that, the mic it's a mic called Cole's in Chicago. It's probably the most famous of the North Side mics. That, like, the first time I signed up, I was number 13. I got called up 13. I was like, oh, cool, awesome. Like, this is how this works. The next week I went back, same number 13. I was like, all right, cool. I just kept getting bumped because all these people's friends just kept walking in. So I went from 13 to like 30. So I was like going up at 10 o'clock at night to going up at like 1 when nobody's there because it's just the only people that are there are just the people that are mad that you're going up.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened to me at the Ha when I first started. Like it was like the first in North Hollywood I went, right? Yeah. And the first time they gave me like a middle spot. And the second time, like, it was supposedly drawn, you know what I mean? That's how they want to tell you, oh, it's drawn, you know? And I go in there, and, like, I'm ready to do my freaking Macho Man bit. I'm like, oh, yeah, here it goes, you know? And everybody goes up, and then they just leave. They go to another mic, and they're just like, all right, so they're leaving, and then I'm, like, the last one up, right? And it's, like, hosting another guy. They call my name, I go up there to go do my set, and they just started talking to each other. And I was like, I had a meltdown. I was like, gee, what the... Listen to what I gotta say, man. I waited.
That's why I hate mics. Like I hated mics for the longest because it was pointless. It felt pointless to me because it's like I'm not getting better talking to nobody.
What did you do to get out of the mic scene? Or like
I mean now I actually hit the mics now because like I said I can get bumped in, so I can't I just waited my time out. But the only way I got around it was just getting lucky with the one guy that would let me do 5 minutes on the show, so I would be able to try.
That's always nice when you do that. I mean, there's been a few people that were like, and I feel that they will give you that little, confidence. Like, oh, I'm going to let you on the show. Yeah. I'm going to let you do this. And then
also, like, when you're good, when they know you're working and you're new a comic, the other comics that run shows, so like, hey, you want to come do our show? Yeah. And that's the other way you get more time, too, is just like, you start doing shows, other people see you at shows, and then they come.
Like, come do mine, man.
Yeah,
come do mine.
You want to come do my show? I'll get you like a couple drink tickets. I'm like, all right, man. Like,
yeah, that's what it was for in the beginning. I don't know how much things I did for free drinks, in the very beginning.
I did a ton of shit just to be there. Like, all right, cool, I'll just do this. And again, like the girl was doing, like, I don't understand why are you going out? You're not getting paid. I was like,
so a little bit off the open mic, in case anybody's watching who's not, not into comedy. We were our question of the day is Michelle Wolf funny? She was doing she did the correspondence dinner.
Yeah.
And she was up there. And what do you think, man? How do you think she did?
Hey, I thought it was great.
Yeah,
because it's a roast.
Yeah.
But the thing is, she took the roast part to heart.
Oh,
because like sometimes they'll roast and it'll be like slight jabs. This was like, no, this is how I feel.
She's coming for blood, dude.
Yeah, she's like, all right, this is a roast. This is what you paid me to do. So
yeah.
She did it. And can't be mad at her. Like
I think the people got their money's worth, man.
Oh,
she didn't fuck around.
The only people that are mad are the same people that like got mad, like, they were calling other people snowflakes. But now you're kind of acting. So like, all right, you can't. You got to go both ways. You got to be able to take it. You got to be able to dish it out.
Well, I think it's if it's a comedian, it's a joke. I mean, you got to know. I mean, even though the jokes may cut you, you know what I mean. You gotta come back. You gotta come back with more. You gotta come back with a joke as
like
well.
Someone was like, "Oh, she's vile, hate-filled person." I'm like, nah, she didn't. She just, I don't know. She just did the jokes that she was paid to do.
Yeah, I think so too. If anybody has any comments on that, comment in, dude. Let's see. I want to hear your opinions on this. Because I mean, we'll talk about it. I mean, I think she.
It was hilarious. I thought it was funny.
She roasted the
fuck
out of everybody.
I would want to see a conservative comic come up and do that as well, and see what he would have to say, and see how like
we're calling on you, Tim Allen. Yeah. Tim Allen of Michigan. Tim Allen of Michigan.
Here's what's crazy. Like they would never do that though.
They would never do it.
They would never hire because everyone's giving Roseanne shit for bringing her show back and like being a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, people are Trump supporters. Like it doesn't matter. Like I don't know. You got to have both sides of the thing. You can't just silence one and then still be like, oh, free speech.
Well, they should just have two comedians. If they're going to have one that's so left, they should have one that's right.
Right.
And have them go back to back. You know what I mean? Because that's the only way that they're like people are not going to feel slighted. I mean,
Yeah, and it just shows me they did not do the research on that comic.
Well, I mean, who did they think they were going to get?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, like, if you would have watched her stand up, you'd be like, okay, this is the path she's going to go. She's not really, like, left leaning, so she's going to roast the out of.
Yeah, you can swear. It's all right. It's just Facebook Live. I don't give a shit.
She's going to roast everybody. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, she roasted the liberals too, but no one's really making a big deal about that.
No, nobody cares,
but,
man.
I don't know. It is what it is. It's not. No one's going to think about it until next year.
Yeah, they're not. It's like one day, and they're like,
right. It was. They're over it now. Like, what did she do? She didn't get Trump impeached. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's still the same. Like,
everything is still the same. People. It's funny. People are all aboard on jokes, and then when the joke's on them, they're like, oh, are you kidding me?
It hurts too much.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's slow down. Like, I did a joke about. So I said as part of it where I said I think it would be funny if I died of an overdose, but the way the setup is beforehand, it all makes sense at the end. And then like this guy came up, he's like, hey man, I just want to say that my girl was really offended. Like I thought it was fucking hilarious. But I just want to say my girl was offended by your jokes. I'm like, what joke did I say? And he's like, oh, the thing about the overdose, like maybe she had somebody that died. I was like, okay, well, I can't just cater to one person.
Yeah.
Because everyone else laughed and thought it was funny, or some people thought it was like, I don't know, I got a groan out of it. I'm like, all right, well, if you're groaning, you're still paying attention. Like,
well, and that's very true. And plus, you got to build your audience who's going to like you.
Yeah.
I had the same thing happen to me. I had a show where everybody enjoyed the show. She came up to me afterward. This lady came up to me afterwards and like, you had a lot of sexual innuendos. There's a lot of stuff about sex. I'm not sure. Maybe if you cleaned it up. And I'm like, well, yeah, if 99% of the audience liked it and then you did it, why did you want me to change my act?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, well, maybe just my act's not good for you.
Right.
But I can't change who I am for
one person.
For one thing. Or my audience would flip,
right? Or you wouldn't even know who you are. Like, you're just joking, like, okay, I got to make sure I can't offend anybody. It's like you're gonna say something that bothers somebody, no matter what it is.
I think everyone's probably offended by something.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
there can't be a comic.
I can't unless it's deeply personal and you like make fun of something that directly making fun of me about something that like I told you in confidence in a public area. Then I can see being pissed off like that. But if I just make a general statement and that catches you, like triggers you, like I can't do that because in the real world, there's going to be a lot of people that you don't know
who are gonna be
that are going to say something.
Yeah,
and you can't go up and try to fight everyone. It's like either get over it. It doesn't unless it completely changes your life. I can't imagine being angry, about
losing sleep over it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about all the great comedians, I mean, they're all got something offensive. You know what I mean? Carlin had his thing on religion. People could be upset about that.
Yeah.
I mean, Richard Pryor. I mean,
he had all the race issues,
all that stuff.
But
you know,
everyone says he's the greatest, so it's like, you got to say what you got to say.
I don't know, man.
Or even the thing Chappelle did with the transgender issue. Like, people were talking, she's like, oh, he shouldn't have did that for 10 minutes. It wasn't even a funny joke. I'm like, I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of that shit was funny.
And obviously, I mean, most people would say Dave Chappelle's probably the best comic of this era. You know what I mean? Like, if you're doing like eras, like, I mean,
either him or Chris Rock.
Louis
C.K. was really good.
Louis C.K. had it, man. He had it, but nobody's gonna like admit it. Like, oh yeah, man, my favorite was the masturbator. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's claiming that.
The joke he did about how concerned he was about 9/11. I don't know if you remember. Like, he's like, "Is it how quickly you masturbated?"
Oh, afterwards,
and
yeah.
He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I got done." And he's like, "Oh shit, the second tower fell." Like, just he didn't even wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was fucking hilarious.
That is good.
But then, going back, it's like, damn, he jerked off a lot.
Yeah, this dude he's like, into it.
He might be into some jerking off shit.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny, like how our viewership just went up. We talked about Louis C.K. Doing it, and it literally jumped up 3 people. It's crazy. People just are into like hearing about that kind of stuff. I don't know. If you got a jerk off story, send it in. Let's hear it, man. Yeah. People are quiet today. Richard Mathis sent a little like laughy face. Shelly Bradley said, "Hi, Mike and Serena." We say hi. Amy McCoy put some hearts on the eyes, like she loves us. So, Amy, you better come out and get some of this Abi Sanchez.
Yeah, get some of these jokes.
Get some of these jokes tonight here at 702 Bar in Midland, 8:30.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm really interested to see what happens when Louis C.K. comes back.
You think he's gonna come back?
He has to. What would
I think he has to do a whole.
There's no way he's completely burned.
He's got to double down. Yeah. It's just all jerk off jokes from now on.
He just doesn't even mention it. Just acts like it never even happened. Like, hey guys, what's up? What's new? Like, what's been going on?
Well, I said that people were mad at him because he was ugly.
He's a bald headed, like, he's fat. Like, he's not an attractive dude.
Like if he was a good looking dude, like Channing Tatum, and then been like, hey, you want to watch me masturbate? That'd have been like, no, but I'll suck your dick.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Like, I still kind of want to see that dick though. Like, it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, but I mean, Louis. I mean, that's what it is. He was just too ugly, man, and that's where it failed him.
But even Chappelle had like a best line. He's like, if your dreams are crushed by him jerking off on the phone, like, your dreams weren't.
Yeah.
That's strong.
And that was what I said. I said, if he's on the phone and you can hear him, and you said that you can hear the blinds close. First of all, if the blinds close, it doesn't make sense because he wants to watch people jerk off. Right. He wants people to see him. Second,
I'm surprised he even has blinds.
And then second is if you can hear him on the phone. Hang up the phone.
Yeah. If I hear somebody doing something like...
If he calls back, he's a real pervert.
Right. Or like if someone's not even talking to me and they're just like, oh, talking to somebody, I'm like, I'm hanging up. So like if I can just hear someone jerking off, that's even more of an
like goodbye.
Yeah. Like, all right, just call me.
If you just even hear a cap open for some loot, like, I'm out of here, dude.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing over there? Nothing.
You just have a sinus infection and be just breathing funny. I'll hang up the phone.
Yeah. Like I don't want to hear you breathe.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
It's like I'm having an asthma attack. Goodbye.
Right. And you just grunt one out on the phone. Like you sat there and listened to him. Like, come on.
Yeah. That's even weirder, I think.
Plus, he wasn't accused of any crimes.
Yeah.
No one. They just said he did this weird thing in front of him. He's just weird.
Yeah, I think he's a weirdo though.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about like.
He's a creative genius. That's what it is. He's got this all this creativity in his head, and every genius is kind of a weirdo like that. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not that good.
You're always
not that good at comedy. You're not jerking off in front of people.
You're always in your head.
Yeah.
So it's like you're just thinking of weird shit.
Good thing he stopped, man. I hope
I hope he comes back. He was one of my favorites.
And he has to do something about it. He
definitely has to address it. But it'll be funny to see. I want to know what angle he could take with it. Because where's he gonna work it out at though?
Where's he gonna work it out?
Yeah, like what club is gonna be like, Louis C.K. just dropped in. Everyone's gonna protest that club. That's what sucks about it. Yeah.
No way, dude. You think?
Hell yeah. If he pops in at like the Comedy Cellar or something in New York, people are gonna like I can't believe you let this guy on stage. And it's like,
really? You think?
Yeah, and it's like 4 women said he tried to masturbate in front of them. And like,
man.
You got to shut the dude's career down. It's like, I don't know.
Do you think he quit? Like, do you think people told him to stop, or do you think he like did it on his own?
I think told him to stop what, comedy or just
Yeah,
jerking
like,
off
do you-
in front of people?
well, I
I
mean,
hope he stopped jerking off in front of people.
Yeah, I think he did that, but like, do you think he was like, all right, well, I'm gonna step back for a moment,
Oh,
or do you think people were like, nah, Louis, not today?
No. I mean, they canceled the movie, but I think he knew he had to step back.
Yeah,
But also, I want to say like it was over 5 years ago. Was like the last person to come forward. The event was over 5 years ago, so obviously there's no new one. So he must have like caught wind and thought this is awful.
Well, people were talking about this. Man, I don't want to be the jerk off.
Right. Guy. So I mean, because from what I hear, it was known within the comedy circles, that he did this. He thought it was funny to show his dick, which I feel like a lot of comics.
Yeah, I hear about people doing that all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that was another open mic at fucking for like the first like 5 times, man. I seen a guy's balls. I was like,
yeah, and like that's weird. Like, why are you pulling your dick out?
Why?
It doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't. It's not. It's not a punchline.
Well, yeah, unless your dick is either that big that you got to show it, or that small, no one will believe it is. You got to show it.
What's that? Dr. Ken, the dude from what's the Hangover?
Oh,
the little
dick. It just looks like a chubby clit.
Oh my god! Like, how would you? I mean, just to be known as the little dick dude, like,
right?
Oh, that's little dick dude.
But he's still making money, so
yeah. I mean, he does, and it's not gonna change. Not
right?
He's
like,
now
you can get it. You can get an extension.
Yeah, I mean, he probably wouldn't. Like, I mean, it'd be like so fake. Like,
if that was even really his dick, though, I can't imagine.
No, it probably was, man.
I would hate everyone knowing like I just had a nub. Like that would be weird.
Like, I mean, some people. I mean, maybe some people are into that. You know what I mean?
If you're just that shameless.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like a group of girls. I mean, there's like 5 of them probably. They're like, damn, dude, gotta get that little dick.
I gotta get that little dick. I just want that little thumb.
Or maybe they just have a small vagina. You know what I mean? Like they just.
I mean, I gotta imagine every vagina is bigger than that.
I'm looking at my girlfriend. She's like, change the subject, please.
Next topic.
Next topic. This is
yeah, man.
This is a poll from my Aunt Karen on Facebook. She said, "Do you still have a landline you actually use? Do you have the landline number for the cable discount, but it's not plugged in? Do you use strictly a cell phone?" Yes, everybody uses cell phones. Nobody uses.
I know a lot of people that do for the cable discount.
But it's not even worth it. You just pay $5 more, really, though. They're like, oh, it's only $5, and you never use it.
But I don't know anybody that has a home phone number. I remember my mom disconnected ours, and I got sad because it was a number that I knew. One of the only the few numbers I knew.
You were sad about it? You're like,
because it was a number I grew up with. So it was like our number never changed for, I don't know, 15 plus or 20 years. So when we got rid of it, I was like, damn, I wonder if I could switch my company, like my phone company, to get that number back. Yeah. Because I wanted it. Everyone knew it. That was one thing. Like if they couldn't find me, all my friends knew to call this number. That was the house. Someone how they'll get a hold of me.
Yeah.
And it was like I said, I don't know anybody's phone number now. It just hit a button and calls them.
Well, now you don't even need phone numbers. You just have.
I know, but like if I don't have a phone, I'm fucked. Like, there's only one number I do is 911.
I have a phone all the time. What's up, Tracy Bartha's watching? Tracy loves getting in the pictures. What's up, Tracy? I mean, Tracy, do you have a landline? He probably does. He drives a Jeep. He probably just Jeep. He does. He'd be like, I just have one just to have one, you know?
Yeah.
Probably fax machine.
I don't know. Like if your phone dies and you can't get to access to your contacts, it was nice to have that one number you can remember. You knew.
But even then, like they have backup. Like even if I lost my phone, I could get a new one and then have backup.
No, I'm just saying, like, if I'm in an emergency right now and I need to call somebody and my phone's dead, I have no number. I can't think of one number I know except for 911.
Yeah, we'll call them. Like 911, man.
Yeah. Hey, can you call?
It's Abi. I need my mom's number.
Call Rodney in Chicago.
Rodney.
Just
got you.
Yeah.
That's funny. And then let me see what's going on Facebook. Barbie Waterman said, so proud of my son Josh. He'll probably be signing papers tomorrow to open up his store. Good for you. Good for you, Josh.
Good. Was it a vape store?
I don't know. He probably is starting a little vape store. It has the picture is a little ladder with a little thing there.
Is Michigan like a medical state as far as like
weed? Yeah. And, I mean, there's some counties that do it, and then it's by county. Like,
okay.
Like Saginaw, we don't have any medical marijuana, but Lansing, Flint, Bay City's about to be. Like Bay City, like that's where our show Thursday is. And then.
But what happens if you get caught with it?
I don't know. I don't get caught, but I imagine. I mean, if you have your like license, I don't think anything. I mean,
because I did a show. Where did I do it? In South Bend, which is right on the other side of like the Michigan border down there in Indiana. The guy's like, "Oh man, I would have brought my doob tube with me." I'm like, "What do you mean?"
The doob tube.
Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, I got a pen that I just smoke out of because it's legal in Michigan." I was like, "Oh shit." Okay.
I don't think anybody really knows. They're behind on that. Audrey Wilkie's watching. She's coming out to the show tonight. What's up, Audrey? How you doing? She just said that she liked the video. That's pretty dope. Yeah, you smoke a lot of weed or what?
Yes, not a ton, but I do. Like I partake quite often.
Partake.
Mostly at night though. Like during the day, I like to get shit done.
Yeah.
And then at night, I'll just relax with it. Or at shows, a lot of people are like, how do you smoke and go on stage? I'm like, it's easy now once you get used to it.
Yeah, I can't do that because I won't be able to talk about anything. I'll just be like, because I'm a quick thinker. And when I smoke, I'm like the idiot. I'm like, I do like idiotic things. Like I had a headliner here, and we were doing a show down the street, and like some people brought some medical stuff, and then I forgot about him at the show. I left him at the show and just went home. And I was like, that's the last time I'm gonna smoke. I'm just not gonna do it no more. And then
well, the worst for me is edibles, because I'll do an edible and I forgot that I do it.
Yeah.
That I ate it, and then like 2 hours later, I'm like, why do I like what's going on? Like I start tweaking, or like I start feeling funny, and I was like, oh hell, I ate that brownie 2 hours ago, and now it's starting to kick in. And it's happened to me at shows where I got on like, but I actually like the feeling because I'll get paranoid if someone's like up your foot killing, and like, all right, I'm about to go up. So I like that paranoia because the adrenaline starts going like, all right, Abby, don't fuck this up.
Oh yeah, if somebody's crushing in front of you.
Because like if I see someone crushing in front, I'll go sit there and watch, and I'm like, all right, I gotta follow this guy. I gotta follow this girl. All right.
That's what happened to me this weekend, man. I've had to follow my friend James Brown Jr. James Brown Jr. He was up there destroying. I was like, oh shit, I better bring it. And I mean, that's what you do. Like you just it.
Yeah, I love it. It's like it's sport. Sometimes it's like, all right, the pressure's
game on.
Like we did. I did a TV taping for like a local channel out in Chicago, and the guy that went up before me, his name is Pat McGann. He's like in Chicago. He's one of probably the best in Chicago. He opens up for Sebastian Maniscalco.
Oh yeah.
So he's his road opener, his feature, and he started the show. And this dude is insane with crowd work, so he's just doing crowd work, and he's just getting everybody hype. And I'm like, I'm high as hell. I'm like, oh, cool. I got to follow this guy. Yeah. And like, on TV, that's being recorded right now. I got to go up after him and follow this. But just the paranoia and it gave me that adrenaline. It was like, all right, now, this is what you practice for. This
you brought it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because especially like going second. Because it was like first, and then I went up second, and then like the crowd was still in the comedy. I feel bad for the person that like at the end of the night, they were like the 14th comic that people saw.
Oh, 14 comics?
They filmed 4 episodes in that one night.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so it was like 3 comics per episode, but it was awesome though. Like it gave me a taste of like you sit there and you just see the camera floating and they're moving it around.
Oh, like at the football games. Like
they got like the little guy in the cart like moving this thing around. I was like, oh, this is dope. Like you get the lights and there's like people there excited for the TV show.
And like, it was for a Chicago show, or what?
It was Chicago's One Night Stand on our channel 26. It's like Me Too, I think is, I don't know. It's like usually a local channel in different cities.
Oh yeah.
But it was just there, and they filmed it at Zany's. And it was dope. I mean, it was.
You get like residuals or what?
Nah, they just paid us out once because they like you can use like some people if they film it, you kind of can't use that joke anymore.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like
I mean, how many people watch that show?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like that, I can do. Like I'm fine. I don't care about that. But like sometimes if you do like a national like cable thing or something like that, some of those are like, hey, don't really perform this anywhere else, or it's dead because so many people might have saw it.
Yeah.
Doesn't help you.
I don't know, man. I feel like even like if it's on TV, not that many people see it. Like, I mean, you could be on Comedy Central.
Yeah, now it's just got to go viral for the most part. Like, somebody's got to do. So there's a joke that the Laugh Factory put up on their Facebook page, and it's like got like 125,000 views. One of the most on their thing, and I was like, okay, well now if I go to a different city and they've seen it. Then
maybe they have.
Yeah, maybe.
It's still 125,000. Like,
I mean,
it's small.
Yeah, especially like for a comic that hasn't left Chicago, is not from New York. Like, I was excited. I was like, oh shit, like,
that's dope though.
Dude, when they put it on Instagram, like my followers went up. I was like, oh, this is like.
How much did your followers go up from that?
From that, it was when I woke up, it was like an extra damn near 400 people.
Dang.
Yeah, so I was like, what? Like, what happened? And I checked the Laugh Factory, it was the Hollywood page, and I checked their page, and I was like, oh, my video's up there, and then people just kept following me, and then like
that's sweet though.
So now I'm using that. Like I put a shirt or a picture of me like in just a black T-shirt, and it said your logo here, and I was like, hey, if you want to send me free stuff, I'll wear it on stage, and then I'll take pictures of it, blah blah blah. And people started sending me shirts. I was like, yeah, shout out to Civic Supply Company. They sent me some shirts. I was like, yeah, cool, I'll wear it, whatever.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, so I don't know, I just take advantage of it because really there's nothing else you can do about it until you Like, I don't have a booty to show on Instagram.
Yeah,
So.
that's like the easiest way to get followers.
Yeah,
and be a good-looking woman.
And I don't want to be one of those. I can't be the Instagram comic. I don't know how to do that. Like,
where they like just
always make videos. The thing that sucks about that is like they're headlining clubs, which is crazy to me because they don't actually have stand-up material.
Or maybe I don't know. I guess you'd have to watch. It's a case-by-case basis, but those people are just all right. They're saying
they're just personalities, and they know they got followers. The comedy club will book them to sell it out. And it's
well,
like I can't be mad at that, but at the same time, it's like, damn, I can't even get work in that club. Yeah. But you got this internet dude that doesn't have 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
But they're doing an hour, and it's like,
well,
you just want them to get by in personality. It's hard.
But if I don't know, man, if they do it and then they like get the stage time, they're gonna grow quick. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I feel like a lot of times they didn't get the chance to grow because everything they're doing, like,
they just came out.
It's coming off the top of their head because they're not used to being a stand-up comic. They're used to being on the internet where they can edit something and
then do it like for hours and hours
right.
and hours.
So now, like, I don't know. A lot of them didn't get the reps in at the mics or on stage somewhere.
Have you seen, like, who's the Instagram comic that you've seen that was like?
Well, you got like Steve-O, that he wasn't Instagram, but Steve-O from Jackass is headlining club. Jake the Snake Roberts is headlining club. Like, these guys aren't but they have a following. So
Steve-O can perform too. He's not.
But Steve-O, like, half of his shit was just stunts.
Yeah,
like, he just did stunts on stage. Like, all right, but it's like, damn, I can't even get into guest spot at that club, and this dude's headlining.
Yeah,
but
it is
as a comic, it just kind of hurts my feelings.
It shouldn't though. It shouldn't.
But
though.
I understand the business side of it though.
It's just it's one of those things where if they can put ass in the seats. I mean,
that's why
they can sell beer and burgers. I mean, that's what it is, really. And you can't think of that guy taking your spot because there's always going to be somebody who has that. But now you just got to figure out what it is that you do that can fucking put people in the seats.
I just got to build up my time.
Build up your time and your audience. I mean, keep putting those cards out and shit. And keep putting.
I got to get out. I got to get out to New York some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go out and L.A.
L.A. Everyone's like, "Are you gonna move to L.A.?" I was like, "I don't know. L.A. You need an agent. You need someone who's like gonna fight for you." Because everyone I know that is in L.A. They basically started over from scratch.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's hard.
Well, and that's for sure. But it's like, it's the thing. That's the type of thing though that if you want to be, you only grow by discomfort. You know what I mean? If you're comfortable, you're not gonna be growing.
Well, I think that
you go there and then
the other main issue with LA is there's so many of the well-known comics in there. Yeah. So you'll get you won't be able to get into clubs because they always have like a named comic. Yeah. But like New York, I feel New York after Chicago, New York is the place to go. Really? If you want to get better at comedy, because New York you'll get not as many opportunities, but the clubs and it's a bigger chance of getting seen. But New York, when I went out there, I was nervous about it. Thinking like, oh, these guys are the best of the best, and then I was like, nah, they're not really all that good. They're just open micers, like
in the open mic scene, like that's what.
But even like, the clubs they have the A-listers that come through, but like there's a bunch of independent shows.
But the thing about going there is you can go watch the best of the best.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to the Comedy Cellar, or if you go to LA and go to like the Comedy Store, I mean, any given night you can go watch people who have been doing it for 20, 30 years, like Bill Burr, Joe Rogan.
And you get people that just pop in.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle's popping in all the time.
Doing 3-hour sets.
Like, I mean, if you can watch that, you got to watch somebody who's better than you to really know.
Yeah. I think you actually got to follow somebody better than you to see where you are at. Like,
that's true too.
Because it's like, oh shit, I got to follow that guy. All right, I got to bring it. If I don't, all right, I got to rewrite something or figure out what it is. And
that's the thing, like Mitzi Shore from the Comedy Store, right? They have like stories where like she would put people that like behind crushers just to develop them.
Yeah.
Like, all right, well, you're good. You think you're good, hot shit now, but follow Sam Kinison in the 80s, Or
I can't even imagine doing that. That would kill me. Like, right. I wonder how many people stop doing comedy because of that.
Well, they stop their pussies. You know what I mean?
I'm sure there's a lot of people that have their dreams crushed and they're like, fuck it. It wasn't for me. I just go back to
the
I'll be an Uber driver
or whatever.
I'll be a cab driver.
I mean, people do that. They get stuck out there and they become cab drivers, and that's what they do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know if I ever want to move though. But Chicago's very hard to get seen. There's nothing really being filmed in Chicago. There's no agencies out there. People looking for. So I was like,
Well, my whole thing is that you gotta go somewhere to be missed. You know what I mean? If they if you're there all the time, like, then they're gonna be like, all right, well, they're just there all the time.
Right? Yeah. Like definitely, I'm getting to the point where I can plateau in Chicago, and like I'm either headlining the showcases or I'm closing out the Laugh Factory Friday night. So it's like, all right, I either got to move to New York or pull this one move. There's a comic named Ramon Rivas. He's out of Cleveland. And
I think I've heard of this guy.
And he's got a Comedy Central special, and he got it because the moves he would pull, which was very smart to me. He'd go to New York for like 2-3 weeks at a time, couch surf, Airbnb, whatever he's got to do to stay out there.
Yeah.
And then he'd come back to Cleveland, and then the next season, when like if he did it in the spring, summer hits, he goes back to New York for 2-3 weeks. So when he comes back, everyone's like, "Oh, okay, Ramon's back.
Yeah,
let's get him on all the shows," and he just bangs out all the shows and comes right back and just still does his thing.
Smart, man.
So he's like, that's what he's telling me. He's like, dude, he's like, you can save up a ton of money because the flights. Like, I'm going to New York next week, and the flight was like $130.
That's cheap.
So if I try to live in New York, $130 would cut. That's one day. Like, that's just a day of travel. Like,
if you can go couch surf or
that's because there's a ton of comics that I know from Chicago that are in New York now. So like, just let me sleep on your floor. I got a sleeping bag. I'll sleep on the floor.
That's why I bring my mattress. Just whatever, dude. You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Yeah, I just bring a little pad.
That's what I did with Rob. You know Rob Mayo, right?
Yeah,
that's why when I met you, I was just down there. I just put a mattress in the back of the Aztec, just went, threw it put it on the floor, dude, and that's what I came.
Oh, you were staying with Rob?
Yeah, just stopped at Rob because Rob has done a few of my shows. He came out, and then I was like, oh man, I got to go out there and see what Chicago's about. And it seemed dope. I considered, going there, going there, but I think I have different plans. I think, for myself, like Chicago was great, but it'd almost be like I have to start over. And if I'm going to start over another place, I might as well just start over in LA. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Because, like, if you've already got enough time here where you can, if you're doing 15-minute sets and you got consistent 15, blah, blah, blah. Like, or, I mean, at least a half hour, I would say. Then you can just probably LA. But do you want to act as well, or do you want to do...
I think the whole thing is to build my audience. Like, whatever I can do to build my audience, but for stand-up. I mean, like, if I can do something where, like, I can make some money and be able just to continue to work and be around the best and get better all the time, that's my whole key. I mean, if it's acting for a little bit, then yeah, for sure. But my whole thing is I want to stand up. Right. I want to just build up the following and keep going from the bar shows.
I want to do stand up, and I was like, "Can you write for a TV show?" I'm like, I could write, but then I got to put together a script and all this other stuff. It was like, I don't want to do all that extra. I want to focus on the stand up aspect.
Yeah, but that's the thing about stand up. It doesn't start till 8:00 at night. You got the whole day.
Right. Yeah.
You got the whole day to do something. Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna be doing it.
Yeah, that's true. You better not waste your time.
Yeah, and that's the easiest thing to do. Too.
I took a class on how to do like late night talk show writing.
Yeah.
And it was cool. Like, I got all the tips and everything. It actually helped me become a better writer.
Yeah.
Because it just like putting up updating statuses on Facebook or Twitter or something like that, where you have to like a certain number of characters. You don't want it to be too long. You got to learn how to write and be consistent, tighten up your jokes, learn how to edit. Like, learning that late night thing, that was the way he taught us. Was like, you watch Saturday Night Live when they do the weekend update?
Oh yeah.
So they do the quick little setup, like, oh, this story, blah blah blah, and then right after it's a punchline and it's the next joke.
Yeah.
So like, that's just a quick, easy way to get in and out, and then that's how I kind of write now. Is like, I write that little tag, and then I just keep adding to that tag, and then like eventually like, oh, it's a whole new 5 minutes.
It's a bit, yeah.
So
that's dope.
That's it. That's the one thing is about me as far as like how I do comedy. People like, oh, I've heard that joke. You're doing it different now. I was like, nah, I just added things to it.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you heard me. Sometimes people hear the setup like, oh, I was just gonna do the same joke. And I was like, no, you got to listen to it now.
It's better
because all of a sudden, like, I had one joke. You met Brian, the manager of the Laugh Factory.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I didn't like the joke you do about Molly or ecstasy. He's like, I didn't like it at first when you first saw it. It just seemed too unreal, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, but now when I see it, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I just kept pounding it out and just banging it out. And he's like, I didn't give up on it.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of those people that come up with like, okay, a whole new idea.
Yeah, you take your idea and you're refining.
And then I say something in that. I was like, okay, now I can branch off of that, and I got a different path to follow.
Yeah.
So it's like my whole set, I'm just trying to build up to like 45 to like an hour.
Yeah.
But I admire people that just like, all right, I got a whole new thing that I'm trying, and like a whole new 5 minutes that I just wrote that don't connect to any of the things before. I was like, how the fuck do you do that?
Yeah, so well, everybody's different. And
I was like,
that's the good thing about comedy.
Yeah,
too.
so you get to see a whole bunch of different things. It's like mine is like, I just want you to feel like you just spent some time, like you hung out with me today. Oh, this is what Abi did today. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And some people are like, these are just different thoughts I had. Blah blah blah, blah banging it out. I was like, man, that's impressive too.
Some people do that. That's like Mitch Hedberg. He just has different ideas.
The one-liners, not even really one-liners, but like he didn't have anything that was longer than like maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah,
he just had these ideas. He was great. That's the one dude I was like, man, I wish he could still keep going. I would
just follow his career.
He has some of my favorite just jokes, man. It was.
Yeah, he has good jokes that everybody can listen to. Like your grandma can listen to it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's good. Oh,
yeah. Or like you don't get it until the next joke is done. Like you're still thinking about, like, wait, what did he say? Oh shit. Oh wait, what did I just miss right here?
Yeah, man, he was really good, man. I loved him.
He was awesome. He could have been huge, I think.
I think he's just even bigger. He like kind of had like Tupac and Biggie. Like after they passed away,
right.
they became immortal.
Right.
Because like, oh yeah, what would it have been like? That's kind of like him.
Had he survived, yeah.
That's what I say about rappers. I'm like, Slim Shady's not going to be the best rapper until he like dies.
Well, he kind of fell off real. What album was it? The Encore album, I think, where he did the whole thing in the voice.
Oh, are you talking about?
Or no, it wasn't Relapse.
It was
because there was one he did it almost in like the
Middle Eastern voice.
Yeah,
yeah. Dude, I thought that album was dope though.
I liked the flow of it, but like listening to the voice was like, oh,
the Bombs Over Baghdad. That was a dope song, man. Dude, and Beautiful was dope, man. I like that whole CD, but I mean, I guess everybody has different tastes.
Yeah, and then like I haven't heard the new one, but everyone said it was crap.
Really? No, man, it's dope. It's really good, man.
All right.
I download it, man. You gotta listen to it all the way through. It's one of those albums you can really listen to all the way through.
Yeah.
And you can't just take somebody's opinion on it because what happened was he said that thing about Trump, and then the 50% of the audience they didn't even listen to it. It's like it's shit, shit. You know what I mean? They just try to attack him.
He did that freestyle about Trump.
Yeah, and that's what happened, man. People try to talk shit about the album. They didn't even listen to it.
Right.
That album was dope too.
I have to give it a try then.
That's it. Veronica Douglas was gonna do a show, but she said, "Hey Mike, I can't do tonight. Have to take my mom to her sleep test at 9. Sorry, I'm late. Thank you for thinking of me." All right, well, Veronica was gonna come, but now she's not. So if anybody wants to come host the show tonight, hit me up if anybody's watching.
I like that. Cancel the booking while they're doing the podcast.
Yeah, that leaves me with about an hour to find somebody to do it. Let's see. I don't know if anybody wants to host the show tonight. Message me. Actually, we should probably end the podcast so we can find somebody and get there and set up the show. Thank you, Abi Sanchez.
Oh, thank you, man.
It was fun. Yep. We got 3 good shows this week.
Looking forward to it.
Tonight, 7:02. Tomorrow at Wednesday, Jen's Bar, 8:30. And then Thursday at Bottoms Up, 8:30 as well. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
Peace.